Intelpoint has a new report on the state of MSMEs, micro, small, medium enterprises in Nigeria. Lots of juicy nuggets in this report that I'm sure the private sector and particularly the public sector will be able to glean from. As we like to say, jump on the work. Don't let the work jump on you, and they definitely jumped on it. There it is, business, finance, revenue, and support, among others, discussing that. I actually have the report with me. And also, more importantly than having the report with me, Yinka Awosanya, Head of Research, Intelpoint, joins us as well to discuss this. Yinka, you're very welcome. Thanks for joining us. You guys just keep working. You keep working. I always start things off here. How long did it take to put this together? Talk about the data gathering involved for this report.
Yeah, a lot actually. So we started in December last year. So because if you look at the report, he has questions about 2024 and then 2025. So we did it. Okay, what's happening in 2025 and what people expect? I mean, what SMEs expected by the end of 2025. So we started last year. Data gathering. Have people across all 36 states and the FCT collecting data, talking to small businesses to try, okay, yes, let's understand their business and all that. Yes, so that took that. And then, so at the end of the day, we interviewed about a little over 3,000, about 3,001 there, about small businesses across the country. And most of those businesses are the small and micro, which is the same thing with what the national figure is saying.
Yeah, perfect. Let's talk about, so you surveyed all these folks. Let's talk about age, yeah? Because when we got out of school in our 20s, I didn't think about starting a new business. I just thought about joining a corporation and just getting my feet wet and building my experience. Now, if we combine this with 33.3% of small business owners from the age of 26 to 35, and then from 35 or 36 to 45, 33%, you combine that is almost 70%, 67% between the ages of 25. What is that telling us, Yinka? Is that Nigerians have an entrepreneurial spirit, or there just aren't enough corporate jobs?
So it's just a case of equal representation. So if you look at demography, the national demography, you see that majority of our population falls within, we are the largest, one of the largest youth population. It's still still having people within 25 to 45 still aligns with what is happening nationally. So as we have people in as we have majority of our population across the country, within that range, you still have the same width. So it's not a case of, yes, most of them are in that range in the nation, but then you now come to businesses, now see few of them. It means that yes, they have more of those guys still doing business, running their thing.
Interesting. All right, longevity is something we've talked about a lot. Succession planning and how we need businesses to leave a legacy and last a long time. Rest in peace to Mr. Ibru. We're talking a lot about him and the big business there in Delta States and how he has carried on his father's legacy. So looking at that now, just along those lines, you've got 34.7. In fact, pretty much, if we add that up, I think it's about 74% of MSMEs in total. Less than 10 years old.
Yes.
And then that's to the two tallest bars on the screen. Then you look to your right for our viewers, from 20 to 24, 26, anyway, pretty much from 20 to 30 years, less than 7%, about 6.5. What's that telling us?
Okay, so these businesses are small businesses that established, and then it's a case of the one-man business with one or two entrepreneurs. The highest, staffs, the highest would be about, say, 10, 20. And it's not a case of, yes, if I'm doing this, there is a succession plan. Once anything happens to the entrepreneur, same is likely happening to the business. They are not running into say, yes, I'm running for the next 20 years. Just let's do it and see what happens.
So just take it a day at a time.
Exactly. Not thinking about, yes, I'm thinking about what's happening in the future. So they're working on a current a project at business front, and we're looking at companies that have stayed
a long time.
And you are looking at only few have really done 100 years in Nigeria.
Right. So you see, Yinka, this takes me back to the age thing, because when most of these businesses are being started by people in their 20s, and then they don't even last that long. And now you're saying these are businesses where they're just trying to get by from day to day. I'm still coming back to this survival instinct where a 20-something-year-old comes out of school, they don't find any work, and they just decide to start their own business. And the business only lasts for like a few years. So I'm trying to get at why we have so many MSMEs in Nigeria. Is this an opportunity thing?
Yeah, it's an opportunity thing, but then I see the trend changing.
Yeah.
I see that, okay, in the next 10, 20 years, this figure that we are seeing less of them running up to 10 years. We'll see more of businesses running, because those that are currently running and that are being run well, definitely they will last the test of time.
Yeah.
So definitely the trend will increase.
Okay.
And will change.
Well, hey, in fact, I'm not sure, is it Apple TV? There's a show called Succession. I can't remember which streaming platform it's on, but it's pretty good. Okay, this is the meat and potatoes of it. Finance, money. This stat never changes.
No,
it is with reports. Let's put it up. So yeah,
it's everywhere.
Primary source of finance for businesses. 51% of MSMEs that kick off their businesses in Nigeria, according to your survey, do so with personal savings. And then you have another 16% for friends and family. That's the bank of mom and dad or the bank of your cousins and friends. So total is 68%, almost 70% is either a friend or family that gave you some money or you use your own personal savings. The story hasn't changed.
It's not going to change because access.
Yeah.
So you're starting a business. Your first call is what you have saved up.
Yeah.
What do you have as your backup plan? That's your first call. And then the next one is friends and family. You're starting to be like, hey, bros, I'm starting a business. So alpha, you either guilt trip them, or you sell the idea.
I'm your best friend.
Exactly. And we've been together since secondary school. I mean, help me.
Yeah.
You guilt trip them or sell the idea to them. Okay, this is what I'm building. This is what I'm building. And then call me. And at the end of the day, okay, yeah, this is 10,000. This is so like something like that comes. So it's the access. It's easy to access that.
Yeah.
You can just call them and okay, I don't have it today. I'll give it. Well, say bank for instance. You go to the bank. Yes, there are banks, commercial banks in Nigeria. In fact, some banks in Nigeria have a portion of the funds they get that is earmarked for SME. But then, if you look at the margin of the ones that are going to small businesses and the ones that are going to the big corporates, the margin is
huge.
It's huge. And the last figure was like, I think around 19 trillion deficit for the SME that they need to survive.
Yeah.
To finance them. So it's that, and to get a bank, I was talking about bank, to get a bank, yes, there are banks that promise to give you a loan in 48 hours. But then it's a case of these are small businesses. They probably don't have corporate, registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission. They don't have their books in order to present, okay, this is it.
Is that the problem? Because you see, we keep, let's put up the chart again, because now you're going to banks, now you've preempted my next question. The number for banks was 19, where is it? 15, sorry, that was 19. So 15.7% say they get their money to start their business on bank loans. So carry on with that. Is that the problem, that they don't have their books in order? They don't have collateral?
It's just one of the problems.
Yeah.
It's just so I noticed someone that was like, oh yes, you're running a business, so let's go to the bank. One, the company is not registered.
Yeah.
And then they can't say this is how much I make in a month.
Right.
It just gives an idea. So there's no record to say this is what you have. And you want to go to the bank and you are not requesting for 100,000, probably requesting for millions. And before the bank will ask you, which is easier for a salaried person, because your salary is coming in from a particular source every time. Yeah. So you go to the bank, they just print your bank statement and it's good. But for them, it's not the case. And there's also the fact that most of these businesses are using their personal accounts.
Yeah.
And then you use your personal account. Yeah, you want to collect a loan with your business.
Yeah. I could keep you on in fact, I think I might keep you on for the rest of the show, because see, this is another thing I noticed. And I wish I had pulled up this channel. Everybody download the report, because you have a portion of this report on the educational attainment of most of the people who start these businesses. And most of them have SSC or WAEC, and then some actually have bachelor's degrees.
Postgraduate.
See, but Yinka, this is another part of this conversation on financial literacy, right? Because as educated as these people are, they don't know how to put their books together. They don't know how to put what is required. So is that I mean, most of these folks are educated, but if you don't have the financial literacy, does that mean that the education you have is just not suited for you to be an entrepreneur? Like, you see, because when you put all these things together, that's what I'm trying to hit at here in terms of why are these educated people not able to put together the what is needed to get a bank loan?
So it's, I said earlier, it's just a case of I'm just running this thing. I don't have a plan to say, okay, yes, I might need this thing in the future. Yeah. I might need to access a loan in the future. Yeah. I might need to go to the bank to access this in the future. Yeah. And that's that. So education is one thing. And then me say, I know what I want to do. Yeah. I know I have a plan to say, yes, in the next 5 years, if I build this thing, I can go to my bank and say, right. Yeah, this give me 100 million naira to expand. Yeah. But in most cases, these one people are just running their shop. There's no case of, yes, let me get a branch somewhere else, stuff like that. So,
you know what I find interesting? Let's pull up the chart again, because you also have, so I've forgotten the number, 15 for, what was the investors? Investors was 9.7%. Yinka, technically, the support from friends and family is good. No, it could also be. If I need to start a business and I go to my cousin is an investor. Although yes. He's giving me a grant.
But in most cases, yeah. So the money you are getting from your friends and family, yeah. They are either interest free, yep. Or completely grants. Right. They give you and not expecting it. Just want you to succeed. Yeah. You just okay, I'm giving you this. I want you to succeed. Right. That's what I'm giving it. Not that I'm expecting. And in most cases, the ones that give you that I say, okay, it's not interest, they give you it's very ridiculous interest. Yeah. Like, okay, yes, just give me 1% per month. And let me just. So it's just to like hold the person accountable.
Yeah. The investors part then, that means that then falls under the issues with the banks, because if you go to meet an investor, that's 9.7% for investors now. Yeah. They would ask for similar stuff as the banks, right? They want to know how well this business is going to do, what's your addressable market, So it's similar.
Yeah, so it's safe to say that those that are able to get from investors to a large extent have their books in order. So it means that because for an investor will drop money,
there's no way they will give you any free money until
so
they
definitely
know what your
business.
Okay,
yes, yeah. You convince them that okay, this is what I'm building, this is my plan. Okay, I'm doing XYZ now. Yeah. In the next 2-3 months, I want to be doing XYZ plus 3. In the next 1 year, I want to be doing this. Yeah. So convincing that. So and then you can't convince that without having your books in order, having the required licenses, where necessary and all that. Yeah.
Okay, the last one there is, I really wanted us to spend time on this because this is what most people are interested in, is how to get money for their businesses. The last one there is government grants, 6.6%. Now, this administration has started something called Credit Core, right? So I know they've put the Credit Core is supposed to be able to give loans out. The MOFI, Ministry of Finance Incorporated, has this fund for mortgages. But then this administration is just like 2 years old, so right, they just started this off. That 6.6% figure, and everybody keeps looking at federal government. Should, I mean, based on your survey, is that more, like when we talk about government grants, should we be talking about federal governments or talking about states? Should that be disaggregated more to the state level?
I believe it should be more to the state and local. Yes, right. Federal can play a part, but then state and local are more closer to the people.
In fact, Lagos States, the forward to your report, wasn't it written by the Lagos?
Yeah, it was written by the Lagos LSTF.
Alayande, Executive Secretary of the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. So shout out to her. She wrote the forward for this report. I remember that. So yeah, so Lagos State had buy-in here. So
it should be like the states and the local. Yes, federal can play a part, but then those state and federal are closer to the people. Yeah. They are like 744 local governments and 36 states, so they are closer to the people to actually make that more effective.
Yeah. Yinka, my producer is. I honestly want to keep you here for the next segment, but let's just wrap up. What is the main takeaway from this report? Who is it? Governments? What?
Okay. One, government gets to know the challenges of these people. Yeah. That's for the government. Yeah. And then, so we mentioned one thing about education the other time. Yes. So education plays a role. Yes, you might say education is a scam, but it plays a role. So according to the people we spoke to, those with no education and first school living certificate, that's primary school, they have lower monthly income than those with secondary school. Yeah. And so it just point to the fact that yes, People can say education is a scam, but when you look at it,
numbers,
when you look at the numbers, you see that yes, the more educated you are, there are decisions you make as an educated person that you are likely not going to make if you are not educated. As you go into school, you might do economics. Yes, you can say the economics you get in school, eating that, but then it gives you an idea of, it gives you a credit. I mean, you did financial accounting, there's credit, there's debit, you know money is coming in and all that. So
thanks for mentioning economics. That's my degree. So shout out to all the economists, economics degree holders. And also, this, as I know, the Southwest dominated in terms of revenue. Fantastic stuff. Yinka, great reports. I encourage everybody to read this. You guys are Intelpoint. You keep doing very informative stuff there. Thank you so much. Yinka Awosanya, head of research over at Intelpoint, with a fantastic report that I suggest everyone read.